Masinde admission assessment number 7350, and I visited the Goto Model Primary and found out that the environment is good for fish rearing. So I drafted a business plan here. The introduction. The aim of the project is to equip learners with the skills that will help them to become self-reliant in the society. Through this project, learners can fit in the society despite all the changes, the environmental changes. Objectives of the plan is to generate money for the club, the agricultural club in the school, to equip learners with the necessary skills of fish rearing, to enable them to become self-reliant in future. The money raised from the project will be used to support the needy children in the school and also to buy the materials for agricultural projects. Description. The project will involve grade 4 learners. The club chairperson will facilitate in the selecting those in charge of the project with the help of the treasurer, the secretary, and the class representative. The preparations will be expected to be completed in 2 weeks. The learners are to provide labor during the construction of the pond with the help of the teacher. The materials needed to have wood, the bricks, or they can use hard rocks or stone or cement blocks. They can use the pipes, and some materials can be improvised from the local environment, e.g. the stones, where they'll not be able to get the bricks. Then the management practices will be shared equally among the grade 4 learners. And these management practices include feeding the fish, keeping the records. We have removal of vegetation from vegetation or the aquatic weeds from the pond, removal of predator insects that can feed on the fish, and removal of unwanted fish, because we want the learners are aiming at keeping only one species. Only mature fish are harvested and sold. The money will be collected by the learners and records kept after every harvest. The marketing. The chairperson to select representatives who will be in charge of marketing the fish. The school and the community are expected to benefit from the project through buying of fish and for food. The challenges to be encountered: we have insecurity, where the strangers might harvest premature fish. They are only supposed to harvest mature fish. Attack by predator insects. Predator insects in the pond might attack the fish, reducing the number, and this affects the production. Inadequate capital. Construction of a pond is very expensive. The club might fail to raise enough money for the project, and maintenance is also expensive. So the project might fail due to that. Then we have negative attitude in the community, where if the community doesn't feed on fish, they won't support the project because they won't buy the fish. That one will be a challenge. Conclusion. The project was recommended by the chairperson of the club. Other learners and teachers supported the project because they intend to benefit from it. The project is aimed at equipping learners with skills to grow individually and as a society. The project can also be done at home to earn income and for food security. The school to offer a piece of land meant for agriculture to ensure that such projects run throughout the years. The school should also provide security for the project to ensure a success at the end.
Charlotte, you said that the learners will be involved in the construction of the fish pond. Now that these are grade 4 learners, do they have skills on how to construct the fish pond? And again, you said that the materials that will be used, don't you think that these materials are dangerous or harmful to these learners?
These learners are going to help in the construction of the dam with the help of the teacher. So one of the things that I should do as a teacher is to ensure their safety. So if they are using wood, I will make sure that they are not using the sharp-ended ones. And I will be there. This project is supposed to the preparation is supposed to take 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks' time, I'm sure that the learners will be done with that. If it's the digging, because we're using the garden, it's already a garden, so it's not a rocky place.
May I ask you a short question?
Yes.
This project is intended to help grade 4 learners, and the fish take a lot of time to mature. What is your plan and program to ensure that it benefits the grade 4 learners before they leave the class?
Like I said, in the objectives of the plan is to generate money for the agriculture club in the school. Yeah, this is a club that is going to run throughout the years. These learners are going to benefit. The skills are there; they are long term. So the learners are not actually going to wait for the fish to eat. We are equipping them with the skills they can use outside there. The learner can see whatever we are making in school, then construct a pond at home, which will help that learner for lifetime and also the society. So we are not supposed to limit ourselves in the school environment.
Colleagues, my name is Francis Victor Mkani of assessment number 7277. I visited the Kambura Primary School. I observed the school environment and found out that the area is best suited for the growth of spinach. The project is intended to provide food for the learners and the neighborhood. Objective of the project. Number one is to enable learners acquire knowledge and skills on managing farms. Number two is to enable learners to acquire competencies and values like communication and collaboration as they discuss project progress. Description of the project. We shall have a brief discussion with grade 5 learners concerning the spinach project. The duration of the project shall be 1 to 2 months. Manure to be used shall be collected from our neighbors with their permission. The project shall take place in the school compound near the kitchen behind the tuition block. We shall start with preparing the land for primary, secondary and tertiary cultivation. There will be a site for our nursery. Seedlings will be raised in our nursery. Transplanting shall be done by learners in the evening after classes. Other field practices like weeding and thinning will be distributed in different groups. Learners shall be informed on harvesting. How feasible is it? The feasibility. The project will work since the school has sufficient source of water, which makes it easy for irrigation during the season. The soil in the school is fertile for the growing of spinach. The school will fund the project and learners will take part in field practices. Challenges to be experienced. Challenge number 1 is too much sunshine. Challenge number 2 is destruction from animals. Challenge number 3 is pests and diseases. Number 4 is theft from neighbors. Recommendation. The garden to be fenced to prevent intruding by animals. Number 2, sensitize learners, teachers, community and school management on the importance before starting the project. Number 3, funds to be released prior to actual day of the project. Conclusion. The project will be of great benefit to the school. I highly recommend it. The funds collected will be used to help the needy and the remaining will be shared among the group members. That is my proposal. Start.
What do you think about the benefit of spinach planting?
For me, I'm seeing it's very possible because of you are saying that there is presence of water in the school and management is very simple.
Yeah, and also the availability of land and the place, because say the project will take place behind the classrooms, the agricultural land that has been provided by the school. So I think that is very efficient.
As for me, I think it's good since he has said that those management practices which will be carried out by learners will not interfere with their normal classes. He has said that the management practices will be carried out in the evening after classes. So I think it's good.
But we also had challenges that we experienced. How are we going to deal with the challenges like too much sunshine?
You can have the marriages.
Can we provide a shed for the
Even shade.
what about destruction from animals?
The school administration can provide a way out of how the fencing can be done so that the project can be protected, maybe from intruders. There is also a theft. So fencing will ensure the project is secure.
Okay. Then we have pest and diseases which are very easy to control because you are just going to spray by use of pesticides. You can also use ash to control the pests. I think this is the best project that we need to do.
Hi, I'm Julius Mutungi, a teacher training at Dogoto TTC. I visited Kikambura Primary and found out that the environment was conducive and good for growing canes. Then, here I have the objectives of the project, and the first one is to enable the school to get income. Then, the second one is it will provide it will be a source of food. Then the last one, it will provide skills for the learners. Those are my 3 main objectives. Then the other one is feasibility of the project. The project can work because the school has enough water that is collected from the roofs. Then the second one is there is well-drained soil which is very fertile, and the slope is gentle. Then the last one is there is adequate space for the growing of canes. Then as for me, I will urge the school administration and the neighbors to fund the project. Then the grade 4 learners will be involved in management practices of the project. So in this one, it will be mostly one class, which is grade 4. Then description of the project. It will be good to inform the teachers and the learners about the project. And the first one is to identify the site. That is, the project will be done in the school farm near the kitchen. Then the tools to be used will be one panga, then jembe. Then the nursery bed to be prepared to raise seedlings. And the manure also to be collected from the school farm and the neighbor. Then another one is watering of seedlings to be done by the learners after games time. Then all field practices should be done by the learners. That is weeding, that is watering, and the rest. Then we have harvesting. Learners to be involved in harvesting the canes for use in the school, and also the school, if it is possible, the school can hire some neighbors to assist in harvesting. Then we have the challenges to be experienced. We can have the lack of market, inadequate rainfall, lack of support from some teachers, invasion by animals. We have delays in delivery of funds by the school. We have also ignorance from the parents, because our project will also involve the neighbors, and that is where the learners are coming from. Then my conclusion is the project shall be of great benefit to the school, because the school will get food for the learners and also the community. Then another one, it will facilitate generation of funds. The conclusion. Then my final one is recommendation. Then my recommendation, the first one is fencing of the school farm. Then sensitize the teachers on the importance of the project. And the last but not the least, the school administration to advertise the project. Yeah, that is my plan.
That's a project on health. What do you think about the project, members? Did you talk about the provision of seedlings?
No, No, not talk about mention anything concerning the provision, because my point was the provision was covered by when the administration will provide the funds. That is when the seedlings will be bought and the project will kick off.
So you are not going to make a nursery bed for the seedlings?
The nursery bed is there, but it will come after the funds will have been released by the administration.
And you talked about the funds coming from the administration and the community. Do you think that's possible?
It can be possible because there will be sensitization of the school by and also the community, so that they can provide funds if possible.
Okay, my name is Melody, assessment number 7325. I visited Muthiora Primary School. There, I realized that pig rearing is the best project, and that's what I am aiming at. Objectives of the plan is to generate income to the school and agricultural departments. The second one is to enhance or to support school programs like supplying the school with the meat from the pig. And then the third one is the money raised from the project will be used to assist needy learners by buying them books and uniform. The description of the project is that it will involve all the grade 4 learners grade 4 learners, the class representative, and they will choose their chairperson, secretary, and their treasurer. The project is expected to be done done by constructing of the pig house guided by their teacher. Materials like timber, nails, iron sheets, hammer, poles, and rafters will be used to construct the structure. Some of the materials will be improvised locally from the environment. The management practices will be shared equally among the grade 4 learners. The practices include feeding the pigs, keeping the record of each pig, cleaning the piggery, controlling the disease in the pigs, and when the pigs will reproduce and the young ones will be ready to be sold, the learners will make posters of advertisement of their produce. Marketing. The chosen leaders will choose representatives who will be in charge of marketing the products produced like the pork. The representatives make posters on their products and places them within the school and outside the school for the large community to see and to take part in the purchase of the products. Challenges likely to be encountered. 1. There is negative attitude towards the pig's meat. For example, some communities associate pigs with the evil activities, hence might not purchase, leading to a big loss. Inadequate money to buy and manage the project due to lack of capital. Another one, disease control. This might be a challenge because the learners might not know the control measures. Another one, there is insecurity. Some wild dogs might invade and kill the pigs, leading to a big loss. And then conclusion, if the project will turn out to be impressive, the learners will go and develop at their homes. Okay. On recommendation, since the project went on well, though in some slight improvements to be made, the learners were inspired and most of the learners promised to start the big rearing programs at their homes. The school management decided to give a bigger piece of land and security to the learners project for it to go on well.
Okay, you were talking about pig rearing, and as far as I'm concerned, pigs are animals that eat a lot. What plan do you have so that they may not starve?
Now, concerning the school, I realized that the school has a feeding program which they provide their learners with lunch meals, and I know there are some leftovers, and then I know they'll be available for the pigs to be given.
What if there are no leftovers?
but mostly, obvious. And we have also some grains. A pig can eat anything. You can give anything. You can give any food, and they can consume.
And also the pigs are very dirty animals. I don't know how you have planned to take care of that so that they don't pollute the environment around.
But for the work activities the learners will be involved in, there are some cleaning of the piggery, and of which I know the site they will be given them should be water, because those are one of the requirements for the piggery to be established.
These learners are from grade 4. Do you think they're able to clean a piggery?
Of course, they are able.
I am Katunga Masindani, assessment number 7136. So I visited Magutini Primary School, and after observing the school environment, I found that it was suitable for keeping rabbits. Now the objectives of my plan are to generate money to the agricultural club and the school, to equip learners with skills of keeping rabbits and to be reliant in future. The money raised from the project will be used to support the needy children in the school. Description. The project will involve grade 4 learners, and the class representative will facilitate in choosing the chairperson, treasurer, and secretary in charge of the project among the learners. The preparations of the project will be expected to be completed in 2 weeks' time, and the learners to provide labor during the construction of the rabbit house as guided by the teacher. We'll need materials like wood, iron sheet, nails, hammer, poles, timber, and wall for construction of the structure. Management practices. Other management practices will be shared equally among all the grade 4 learners. So the management practices will include feeding the rabbits, keeping records, cleaning the rabbit house, and disease control. So once the rabbits start reproducing and the young ones are of age, they'll be sold, and the collection of the money will be done by the learners. Marketing. The chairperson to select representatives who will be in charge of the marketing of the rabbits. The school and the community are expected to benefit from the project through buying the rabbits. Challenges likely to be encountered. We have insecurity. We also have diseases. Inadequate money as the project involves use of money. Then we have the community might have a negative perspective about rabbits and might fail to buy them. Conclusion. The head teacher recommended the project and other staff members. The whole school was because there will be immediate beneficiaries from the project. Recommendation. The project is aiming at equipping learners with skills, and most of the learners who participated promised to start the same project at home to earn income. So the school to give a piece of land and ensure that the project ran throughout the year, and the school to provide security for the project. Disease control measure to be carried out regularly to ensure success of the project. And that's the end of my business plan.
Okay, Masi, you have said that the rabbits eat a lot of food. Now, what if the community or the school will lack the food to feed on these rabbits? What will be the effect, or what will happen?
The good thing about rabbits, they feed on green vegetables. So the learners can go to the school farm and get these vegetables for the rabbits to feed on.
Does the school have an extra piece of land where maybe the weeds or this green, they can be good food for the rabbits?
Yeah, the school environment has a lot of green leafy vegetables which can be fed by the rabbits.
Don't you think your project will take too much time before it materializes?
Yeah, it will take a lot of time, but at the end of the day, rabbits have some good money. So once they are sold, the learners will get some good